What's up, Real? Hope all is well. This is Coach Key, and welcome to another episode of Real Coaching Podcast. Today I have an amazing guest, Imani Davis, man. Miami native, Belen Jesuit graduate, one of the best football players to come out of Belen, class of 2012. Imani, before we start, do you have anything else you want to tell the camera before we start?
No, I mean, you family. You like being back at home.
Yes, sir.
This is backyard football, so I'm here for it.
Okay.
Happy to be back. Happy to be here with you.
Appreciate it, dog. Imani, how old you was when you first fell in love with football, and what made you fall in love with football?
Oh man, I think 8. I was 8 years old. I had a neighbor who was a coach who I first played at West Kendall, and he saw me working out or whatnot in the yard with the old boy. You know how it is back in the day. It's 3 boys. We get work done. So fell in love with it. Wasn't used to it growing up, but once I ended up touching the ball and seeing what it's like and what I could do with that, it took off from there. It took off from there.
So you played your younger league football at West Kendall.
West Kendall Dolphins.
West Kendall Dolphins.
Okay,
Park, yeah. And you did that from?
I did 4 years there.
4 years there. So what position did they have you at first? Running back. So you've always been a running back.
Till college.
Till college. Till college.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
As a little one, you've always been.
Yeah.
Okay. And as in youth league football, what do you think? What was one of your biggest challenges? Playing football at an early age. What do you think you had to face?
I think what some of the kids don't get that we got is that hard ball.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Your cousin could be on the other team. Your buddy could be on the other team. It's a lot of kids as friends nowadays. For us, for them, whatever them quarters was, 8 minutes, whatever that was, 32, whatever minutes, it was blood in, blood out. So I think the mentality back then for us was, this it.
I agree.
It's a do or die. You ain't rapping, you ain't doing nothing else. It's football to the death.
As an early age, I'm just looking through my notes on my phone, but as an early age, when did you know you was different? Like, when did you know, okay, I'm better than these kids? When you was young playing football, when did you know, like?
I really didn't, honestly. I was always taught to work hard. You know what I'm saying? I was never taught to look at XYZ other players as such, like I'm better.
Right.
Yeah, I may be more gifted, I may be faster, but in this game of life, we got roles.
Yes.
So it don't matter how gifted you are. If you can't run a play, it don't matter.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it was always like a team player type mentality.
Okay.
It was never dang, I'm rising above X, Y, and Z. Yeah, you may get certain, footage or certain accolades, or you may win player, but it was always a humble type mentality that I was raised with.
It's amazing, man. And growing up, playing football, who was that role model? Who was that figure for you that you looked up to and that inspired you to just want to keep going? And like when things get hard, they were there for you to navigate you through those tough times.
Still to this day, my old boy. That's my dog. That's the DNA of me. So a lot of the ways that I'm built, blue collar, you put your hand in the dirt. You play past the whistle. It ain't no to the whistle. You know what I'm saying? You run through the end zone, not to the end zone. That was him. So when I look at a Superman still to this day, and he's still kicking like a diesel, that's still that guy. But how we raised, you see your old boy and, they go to work, they come football practice. It's long days, long nights. So you look up to that. Like,
yes, sir.
At a certain point, if I'm blessed enough to have that family, I want to be able to be the same person he was.
Yes, sir. So like, when you was literally high school, college, when you were doing your drills, you still hear that voice in your head.
Always.
You always hear that voice.
Always.
You in Akron, Ohio, and you hear that. Not to try to get to the right now, but I want to keep you on the timeline, but you still hear that.
And you got it. You got a voice in your head. If it's your old girl, somebody that's get up, keep pushing.
You're right.
You got that second win that it's always that motivation in your brain, and that's him to me.
Yeah, I agree, and and that's amazing, man, because a lot of guys don't get that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And me growing up as a kid, I didn't have that, so that was a blessing for you to have that. I did have a role model. My role model was my coach, my high school coach, Coach Sims, and that same voice that you hear, I heard his voice.
Right.
You know, when I was in high school, when I was in college. Still to this day, as a man now with a family, I hear his voice. You know, because the number one thing that I always heard him say is, you know, how you feel is not always the right way to do things. Because I remember when I was in school, I used to say, I don't feel like going to practice today. And he'd tell me, how you feel is not always the way to do things. What happens when you have a family and you don't feel like waking up in the morning to go to work, but you don't feel like doing it, but you have to do it. You get what I'm saying? So what are some things that you still hear from your dad, or some things that you still take up that he said that it still stick to you today?
Really just, you know, work hard. Your players show for you. You know, at the end of the day, play your role, play your position. Anything you do, if you put, you know, your extra into it, you put that extra effort, you'll get what you want out of it. But, you know, them nights, everybody out at the club, everybody going to parties, everybody doing this, that, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? When you put that extra grind in, when you need that, it's 3rd and 2, and you got to push for that first.
Yes, sir.
You picking up the 2 or you picking up 5? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's always that difference, and like you say, it does translate over into life. I don't think any of us like what we do. You know, we gotta do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And having played sports, you realize it's a team thing. It ain't about you, it's about them shorties.
Yes, sir.
It's about your longevity. It's about getting that house. So we look at the bigger picture. We'll defer to the second half, but we still gonna go win this thing.
Amen.
So that's how I go. That's that mentality. It may not be your time, but keep pushing, it'll come.
I agree. So moving away from Little League football, you know, now you're getting older. What made you want to go to Berlin?
I didn't, honestly. I had hair, so I was gonna go to Columbus, actually. Took the test there. My parents are big on academics. So at that time, they had Brandon Radcliffe was there, the Bush Boys was there, Jakar Gore was there. You had the whole plethora.
Yes.
It was a perfect role to step into, but it was also, what do I want you to really focus on at the end of the day? If it don't work out, and see where we at now, where do I want you to be? And not to say Columbus isn't an outstanding organization. My parents just chose Berlin, and I won't regret a moment, I won't regret a step. Great curriculum, great classes. It challenged me more. I think that's why they chose that school. It was a lot more challenging academically.
Yes.
And seeing as black men, you know, we push one or the other. It's either academics or sports. A lot of, you did both.
Yeah.
I did both.
You're right.
You know, a lot of people did.
Yeah.
So it was just to keep that solid going, and I think they did good with that.
Amen. And was it hard for you to adjust coming to Berlin? It's an all-boys school. How was that? I've never been to an all-boys school, so I wouldn't know. Like, you know, you in high school, the hormones going crazy, and you want to see some girls. And how was that going to an all-boys school when you just seeing boys every day you wake up?
You stick to the script. You remember why you're there. You know, girls gonna always be there. At the end of the day, you're there for education and to play ball. If you blessed enough to do that, I ran track as well. But again, how we was raised back in the day, it wasn't really like I'm gonna give you time to adjust. I'm gonna put you in this water and you're gonna swim. You're gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna make this sacrifice, you're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't bend, we don't fall. And we, luckily, thank God, made it out of there.
What was the biggest challenge of you going to Berlin? You know, what are some challenges that you had to face? You had to prevail through?
That's a little rough now that you go back. I think the transition from public to private, it's a completely different world. You know what I'm saying? And you know that.
Yeah.
It wasn't the transition so much, it was the lifestyle. You know, we were raised, you know, good, never really, you know, wanted for nothing, but you get to that other side of the world where it's
flashy.
You know what I'm saying? So, it was always staying level-headed and trying not to always compare yourself. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And as I got older, I understood, you know, my parents did the best they could. You know, my parents did the best, and it was for us. Some of these kids got 1 kid, 2 kids. So, regardless of the environment I was put in, it was always find a way to blend and exceed. Be yourself, but always find a way to blend so that you're not that sore thumb sticking out. Find somewhere to mesh at, but remain yourself. Don't ever forget that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Talking about the football phase of Berlin. When you got there, before you got there, Berlin wasn't really known as a football school, And when you got there, it seemed like the whole culture shifted. I think, was it your freshman year or sophomore year that you guys went to States?
Sophomore year.
Your sophomore year.
2010.
And did you play?
I did.
Were you the starting running back?
Rotating. We ran a wing T, so
Okay.
it was one of those type things.
Okay. And going to that year, what was the biggest moment that you remember when it was like the highlight of your sophomore high school career?
I remember that all-star team we had, and it was a run nobody expected us to make. And I remember Coach Stewart, that's probably the second guy in my life I could say made the biggest impact sports-wise. He told me straight up, he said, your fakes suck. And I'm looking at him like, fake suck, I'm running for 100 a game, this, that. It was always be better with him. It was always be better. Imani, I know you're not getting the ball because you're not putting in work for your other guy. So it was always that humbling sense that he was able to always keep me grounded. Like, I know you're not from what you may be expected to be from, but I'm always hold you to that different standard because these guys that come at you that look like you, the guys that come at you that don't look like you but look up to you, this is stuff you need to carry on. Every play matters, and now in real life, every move you make
matters.
So it's
yes.
that same mentality.
Yep. And is that the year you guys beat Miami Northwestern? What year was that?
No, that was 2012, my senior year.
Your senior year.
My
And
senior
let's go through that. I don't think Berlin has ever beat Miami Northwestern.
Man, yeah.
And how was that? Like, was you shocked that you guys beat them?
No. We were a gritty team. That wing T was a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
Especially if you weren't grounded.
Yes.
No, we had a great coaching staff. Same coaching staff from our state cheer, minus a couple guys, but it was that resiliency to run the play. Stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? It may not work in this scenario. It'll work in another scenario. Down 7-21 coming out of halftime. First play of the game, we had a pick six to the house. We were up 7-0. They came back, did their thing as usual. EJ, Big Five, EJ, BJ, oh my God, they cast Amari Cooper. You know that.
You're right.
Came, showed out, 21 zip a half, came out, they kicked off the second half. We fumbled the opening kickoff. They picked it up 28 zip and 28-7.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And we fought back, really fought back. But that was a team, it's a couple of guys, that whole team I go to war with to this day.
That team, that special team that you had, were there a lot of guys on that team that come from where we come from?
No, but I'm going to say what Coach Stewart made was, Stewart, Eddie, our whole coaching staff, they were big on equality. I say that at school. There was never a moment that I felt less than. And mentally and physically, I never did as well. But you see certain things that'll make you feel inferior. When it comes to sports, we all do the same. It was never you this, that, and third. Okay, money, you tripping? Hey, you get in. Hey, take a seat. I'm gonna let you know who you are based off your play. So there was never an adjustment period where I had to be like, there's a favoritism thing here. No, everybody worked hard. He made sure of that.
How did you feel making first team all day? How did that make you feel?
It was an accomplishment. I think it was big. We had some real dogs back then. Duke, Tory Clayton.
Yeah, man, you had some guys that you...
We had some guys back then. But I think the gist of it was those big play guys were every down backs. Back in the day, everybody wanted to be a scat back.
Yes.
Or I want to be a fullback. Now it's no, can you get this on third and fourth? Third down, and we got 4 to get this. I need you to pick this up.
You're right.
I was 140 at States sophomore year. So it's not always the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog. And that is my old boy again. In my head, is that.
That's
gonna play this out.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. When did you know, like, okay, I'm going to school for this? Like, I can go to college and I can make something of myself in football.
I think after states, I remember there was a Miami Herald clip photo that was put out. Cinderella story ends, and it was worse than any other breakup ever. It was like
You guys lost states.
We lost states. We lost to
Was it Bulls?
Pensacola.
Oh,
I don't know the team name. Pensacola Tigers. Prince Ashanti was the running back. Ran all over us. Little Adrian Peterson. But it was then where you get the taste for greatness, but you ain't full off of it because you ain't grasp what you can. That same team, that state year, Nick Platt, Pablo Alvarez, Nick Minical, and Alfonso Horner, they won a 4x1 state. So that's the point where it's like, you may not get it in this era, you gonna win in another era.
yes.
But after that game, I got interviewed, and it was, how do you feel? What's your plans for next year? Do you plan on leaving or staying? And it was like, I die for this team. But at that moment, it was like, okay, you are actually somebody that can make an impact in this game. Like, you have to now start to trust the man and player you coming into and decide whether you can step into that or you want to go a different route. So being from a family of 4, college is expensive.
Yes, it is.
And, us, everybody want that offer. Everybody want to go and play anywhere. D1, D2, D3,
Yes,
D4,
sir.
it don't matter. As long as they're paying for school, it'll go. So after states, I said I was that big push to go play college ball.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, your senior year, do you feel like you was overlooked? Do you feel like more schools should have took a chance on you? Because I read the article and I seen that FAMU was the only school that really wanted you. And you was about to go to FAMU.
Correct.
And I remember you telling one of the reporters, like, I go on this visit to FAMU, I'm going to FAMU.
Right.
And what made you go to the University of Akron?
My first official offer was Kansas State.
Okay.
Kansas State and James Madison. That was the year a lot of coaches got fired. So Tressel was fired, and I got a handwritten letter from Oregon. So Corey Sumler went to Oregon out of Gulliver.
Yes.
We went to high school together. Middle school together. So I get a handwritten letter. That was a big deal.
That was a big deal back then.
That's a big deal. And I sat on every offer. Buffalo, I think I had 6 or 7 FBS offers, but I thought I was going to to Oregon. And what I didn't realize, which was the biggest shocker, which a lot of these new kids don't get from their coaches, is you take your time on these offers, they recruiting 50 other kids for your same spot. So they offering you.
But but when it's time for you to commit, they might tell you, nah, not right now, hold on.
They may, but that's why. Because now that I'm getting a signing day, Oregon ain't call. Kansas State, Bill Snyder, you up there? No, we not there no more. Okay, what about this other school that offered me? We not there no more. So when you go back to look on the table to say, well, I could have given a verbal and held the spot. That year, all the dogs that came out of just the whole United States, but definitely Dade County, them offers was gone. So us knowing it's guys that done went to smaller schools and done made it, if it was gonna be fam, it was gonna be fam. I just knew at that moment I needed to lock in a collegiate university.
And was fam like on you hard, like calling you, texting
They
you?
were. A visit was set up. It was in track season. One of my best friends, we grew up together, Alfonso Horner. We went to Akron together, played DN. He ran a sub 1100, no ACL senior year. He is from a background of dogs that went to FSU, his family. So Chuck Amato was at Florida State, ended up going to North Carolina State, ended up at Akron. That whole Florida State staff meshed together. And he came down to look at Alfonso. I was running track the same day we were on the 4x1 team together, senior year. And Coach Stewart, again, hey, I got a guy, he needs a home. Check out his tape. They offered me that same day, they offered Horner.
They looked at your
At
tape.
track. So
They walked. So how did you feel? How was your emotions? You at track,
yeah,
and walk me through it. They just walks up to you, hey, Imani Davis, I'm such and such.
right.
We're gonna offer you to the University of Akron.
Right. So back then they would pull us out of class.
Yes.
So-and-so's here coming. So they pulled Horner, Alfonso. He's gone. I'm in track like, that's my dog, but
You trying to see what's
you know
going
what I'm saying?
on?
I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to get where he's at.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't have no offers either like that.
Right.
So he was more of a, he wanted to push track, I think, because it was his baby, and being 6'3", 6'4",
Yes.
20, running a sub 1100, you're a beast, bro.
Right.
So Coach Stewart ended up calling me out of track practice up to the office. Hey, this guy wants to see you, look at you, this, that, he likes your tape, he wants to holler at you. Came upstairs, hey, I'm so-and-so and so. I like what you do, we want to recruit you as an athlete. Would you, be interested in Akron? Heck yeah. All right. And I remember walking out of practice that day, finished track.
Cloud nine,
but also thankful.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? You finally felt like you passed.
Yes.
You finally going, okay, I'm over that mountaintop. Now I'm on to the next. So it was, everybody knows, you know what that's like. When you sign and you continue what you love to do, and you have that set time set.
I agree. So
can't
did you
describe
call FAMU and say, hey, thank y'all so much, but I'm
it.
committed?
I never did.
So you didn't even.
I should have.
So
No, I never
so
did.
you didn't even, like, after that, were they trying to reach out to you still and you just ignored them?
No, I had a
You had that visit set up.
They had updated, on our portals.
Yes, the rivals and all
it
that.
was quick. So it was.
Did you have to call them to tell them, hey,
No,
I'm committed?
But they had already had somewhere listed visit was set. The week I committed, I went on a visit. It was the same week I was supposed to go to FAM.
And was it the winter time?
It was.
It gets cold in Ohio.
Winter, or the midwinter, yeah.
Was it cold?
It was. Brutal.
So what do you remember your first time getting on that plane? Well, not your first time, but was that your first time going to Ohio as a whole?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
what do you remember?
Really, it being a business trip. We traveled a lot, literally. You know about that. Disney World. So it was another one of those, make sure you're on point, make sure you're in best behavior. Don't be a typical Miami guy.
Right.
But also be a Miami guy. That's what they got you for.
Was it a culture shock going to Ohio?
Yes.
Like, man, I'm not used to this, man.
It ain't no steak, it ain't no fried lobster, it ain't no snappers, it ain't nothing that we used to down south. But food is food. We come from PB&J's and sausage sandwiches. It's simple. You figure it out. And with meal prep, all the stuff they have for you when you play ball, it's easy, man. It was simple.
Was it a hard transition?
No. I think Berlin made that easy because of their curriculum. Because we would have 7, 8 classes a day. You may have 3-4 tests a day, and you got a district game that night. Figure it out, bro. We need you tonight. You need to stay eligible. So knowing how to be on time, where to be at.
That's great. Going to Akron, was it a point where you was like, I want to go back home? I don't like Ohio anymore. Like, I want to go home.
My freshman year, we lost to UCF. 47.
In Ohio or in Florida?
In Ohio.
You're like, I want to go back to Florida boys.
47-10. Never had a loss that bad in my life. And being a Miami guy, you think like, is this it for me? Like, is this the team? So there was a point where, and I think we all go through that. It's a daily do I or do I not. But the difference between, dogs and cats is that we commit. Once we commit, we commit. If you bite and don't nothing come out of it, we're going to bite again. We're not going to fold from it. So having already have been there, you can turn this program around. You figure it out. You work harder. You get better.
Yeah.
You figure out how to get these wins.
Yep.
And that was, I think, the roughest part was coming from a winning mentality to now a rebuilding mentality. And then to go senior year and win a bowl game, the Potato Bowl, first bowl game in however many years.
Because
you see that
Because
growth.
I remember going on a visit to Akron, and I remember seeing you there with Dalton Easton. And I remember the football game, and I'm like, damn, y'all lost against Bowling Green. And y'all got destroyed.
Yeah, we got beat.
And I was like, nah, I can't go to this school. It's too cold.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or the water tastes funny?
Everything was different.
Like the tap water.
Everything.
Well, I remember going to the restaurant and I was asking for tap water. And I'm like, this don't taste like the same water that I drink back home.
Everything is different.
Yeah. And I commend you
They took
because
to Twin
like
Peaks.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And I had just got some water, and it just wasn't what I was used to. And I remember going to the game, and it was cold as hell.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this. I just can't do this. I remember us going out that night too and everything, and I was just like, and I respect you because like you knew what you needed to do, and you stuck to that, and you made sure you completed the mission with that degree at the University of Akron.
Thank God.
Talking about Akron, like who wants to just go to Akron? Who wants want to start a life in Akron, Ohio?
Yeah.
And you know, and do you regret that?
No. At the end of the day, top-notch education. I'm learning from Jeff Bowden, Coach Lavernius Coles, all these dogs back in the day. So you're still getting NFL type lineage type training. You don't always look at the name of a school. You know what I'm saying? It's you there for a reason. It's very few kids that could be blessed to go to Alabama or to U or certain other places to where it's like, I'm proud of that. Now it's, where do you go? Akron. Okay, I've never heard of it. Okay, well, let me figure out how to put this on the map. So, in a lot of ways, when you don't have options and you got to exercise that option, when you're used to running the ball and making it work and figuring it out, you make it work and figure it out. It may not be pretty, but as long as we get done what we need to get done, that's what it was.
How did it feel? Mainly your whole career, you running that ball. You know, you getting handoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you just can't play running back for us. We need you to go out there and get open.
Different. I got recruited as an athlete, so I was a DB. I was a corner.
Oh, so
we
you
ran
first started off
7-on-7s the first day, and they moved me to receiver after that.
They didn't like you at corner?
No, but freshmen, they let you, work in wherever. We just, open whatever. Just come throw the ball around. Dalt was there. We had already practiced this stuff. So it was like, dang, this guy he can run and he can catch. And again, as an athlete, they expect you to be able to do both. They switch. And that's the adverse part to us. Me and you both play offense and defense.
Right.
You're not just a linebacker, you run the ball too.
Right.
So being able to play other spots, I think, also made me an asset to them. But yeah, it's a different shot. You got to work for every pass. You don't know when you're getting it. The blocking, the steps, the technique. But being that perfectionist and having that, I want to work hard to get this down, it was a joy. I can honestly say.
That's amazing. So, what was the biggest high of your college career? That you were just like, wow, I'm in college. This is what college is all about. I'm in college. This is what I hear all the rumors about of college football. I'm in college.
We went down to Michigan my sophomore year, University of Michigan.
Oh.
The Michigan.
The big house.
The big house. And our stadium maybe held 20, 30, maybe 40,000. And pregame warm-ups, the stadium was rocked.
Really, you feeling it?
You fit on the stadium because you're sub-level from the actual dome that you're in or arena.
Yes.
So we walk out pregame, punt return, kick return, receiver, go out. And you coming out and being from us, bands, our pregame, whatever. That music is what'll really get you in whatever mode you get.
Yeah.
And I promise to God, we came through the tunnel. Some of us had, I guess, ski masks then, shiesties now, but it was cold. And it really put you in, like, coming out that tunnel and you look around like, dang.
I'm here.
We here. Not I'm here, like we really in this. Like, this is really what ESPN, whatever, Saturday game at noon on ABC. And it was like, and there's some people that do that every week.
Yes.
So if we want this every week, we got to get it.
I agree. I completely agree. So that was your biggest highlight. What was the biggest challenge in college football for you? That you just really had to dig deep and it really tested your faith.
I think going through injuries in college, understanding that depth chart, and if you're adept enough to realize what's going on, in college it's a depth chart. If you injured, where's your production at for the team? It's 0. So you're not an asset to me. That's not to say you can't be, but you are.
Right.
So going through ankle rolls or a little hamstring pull or something like that at receiver, if you can't run,
That's
you know what I'm saying? So there's that moment where you see guys that aren't as good as you in your spot. And now when you come back, you start where they was at. It's like, no, I was still that guy. No. You gotta prove that because they put their time in. So it gives you that, are you hurt or are you injured? Can you go to work or do you want to go to work?
Right.
Okay, so it ain't about what you
And you had to
feel
fight
like
through that.
You have to fight through that mental toughness to understand that you still got to put this work in. If I can't produce like my family, you can love me all you want. You can love me as a player all you want. But if every time I put you on the field, you can't catch, you dropping punts, you dropping kickoffs, this might not be a school for you, bro. So fighting through that, I guess, adversity of, am I still that dude? And then when you get that opportunity, I may get 1 or 2 passes with the twos because I'm a 2 now.
But you got to capitalize on that.
And that's that. Okay, boom, he's still giving flashes. Okay, no, he still can run. He can still stick. Okay, so now when it's the one goes back down and you step into that role again, do I want to get his up or I'm going to play through an injury? Am I going to get up early and get rehab or am I going to lay in the bed a little bit longer? It molds you into keeping your spot and understanding that there's always somebody waiting for it. And that's life.
I completely agree.
And that's life.
I completely agree. Amen. In college football, when did you know football was ending for you?
After our bowl game. We won our bowl game in Boise, Idaho Potato Bowl. And then as a senior, everybody is pro day. You know, at college, once college ain't grade, college is boom, that's it. And especially if you graduate, you got a pro day date, you got graduation date, and then exactly.
Yes.
So I think after pro day, we watched the draft, no calls. Graduation was great. And then you wonder, what am I gonna do in my life now? Like, where am I at? What am I? Ain't no more whistles, ain't no more coaching, ain't no more nobody telling me to get up, ain't no treatment. What is next?
And I was gonna just talk to you about that, but you're already jumping into my whole thing, because I was gonna ask, because a lot of athletes struggle with this.
Yeah, it's hard.
A lot of players struggle with this, and with the topic that I'm about to talk about, and we're gonna talk about it now, life after football.
Right.
And what does life after football mean to you? Because you, from your whole life since you was 8 years old at West Kendall Park, you was taught to work hard, catch passes, tackle, go to school, do your homework, get good grades, respect your coaches, and everything else will fall into place.
Right.
When you're in college and high school, you got a schedule, a strict schedule that you stay with. You got the season schedule, you got the off-season schedule. You working out, you lifting, you running. When you get home, you're not partying because you just want to grind it.
Right.
What is life after football when all that's over? When you ain't got to work out no more. You ain't got to look up film no more, and you don't got no schedule. You got to be up 6 a.m. to go lift weights. Yeah. And you ain't got people calling and checking in on you no more like, y'all play this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, you doing good? You ain't got people saying, oh, I'm depending on you, man. You're going to do a good job. You're going to make it. And now you feel like you let a lot of people down because you didn't make it. What is life after football to you? Because we all live in it today.
Yeah, we all do. Life after football is an adjustment. It's about how you take it. I think a lot of guys, and as you should be, you're accustomed to that lifestyle. That's all we know. But life after football is, who are you really without a helmet, without pads, without a jersey? It's nothing attached to you outside of your birth certificate. Now it's really time to build your brand and make your mark in this world. Now, sports taught you what it has, and now do you take that on in whatever endeavors in life you do, or are you still one of these, I'm at the gas station with my jersey on type dudes? So that's where, depending on the type of person you are and having that go get it, work hard background, life after football is the next story, bro.
Amen. I love it. I love it. And we all deal with these struggles, you know, and laying down sometimes and just thinking about, damn, I didn't make it, or I should have made it.
Yeah.
It gets you into a dark place for a second.
Mhm.
Because sometimes it gets me into a dark place and I gotta shake out of
Yeah.
it. Especially when I get on IG and I see guys that made it that I was better than.
Or they on my tape. And
And I was like,
yeah.
I was better than him. I played against him and he couldn't do nothing on me. And how did he make it? And now I'm questioning God, like, God, what's going on? How did that ever happen to you? And like, how do you channel yourself to get back to a positive mindset when that happens to you? And I'm asking this because there's some viewers out here.
Yeah.
A young Imani Davis, 21 years old, just graduated. The combine didn't go well. And now they don't know what to do. Some of them didn't even get a college degree because they done jumped from school to school and not all the credits didn't match. And now they're left with nothing.
Yeah.
What can you tell the people that are a young version of you that just ended, the football just ended and they just looking and they don't know what to do?
Give yourself time to, I guess, grieve or feel that emotion. Is a blessing to feel an emotion. It's a blessing to be able to feel. It's a blessing to still be on this planet. So that's a human emotion, to feel an internal letdown. But again, make a plan, set a play. You know, what do you want to do with your life? I had my son coming out, so I went into police work. A lot of guys I know went into coaching. Find your niche of what you need. I'll honestly say, if you don't have no kids coming out of college like I did, try to stay on that right path. You know how them babies will change a lot.
Yes, sir.
And your wants and needs change. Kids are a blessing beyond means, but
They ain't about
they
you no
also
more.
do. It's not about you anymore. So it's not about now what you like to do. It's about what can I do to provide for mine, so that they don't feel what the rest of the world feels that's in that same category. But nah, you gotta, where you built off of. I think that's the biggest stuff for us. Where your pedigree is, who your people is, who you kin to. That brings me back always being a Davis boy, you know, front of heights and whatnot. We got a reputation to keep. Okay, you ain't making it in football, but you can still win the Super Bowl being a police. You can win the Super Bowl being a dad. You can win the Super Bowl being a coach. You can win the Super Bowl being a postman. Find what gives you gratitude and joy and go after it.
One of the key words, outside of football, that helmet is off. That jersey's gone. The cleats hung up. Who is Imani Davis? If someone is asking right now, who is Imani Davis?
Imani Davis is a dad. I love being a dad. It is the greatest blessing. I got a 2-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. And being a guy that runs all day, that's my pride and joy. Been in love, been out of love, been at the top, been at the bottom, been at every moment you could probably imagine outside of jail, or thank God no drugs or whatnot. But Imani Davis is a dog. Imani Davis is that guy that owes himself a lot and also will get a shirt off his back to you. I got a lot of love for a lot of people. I also understand that I'm only as good as the person that I will be. So Imani Davis is that guy that is a goal achiever, might be a trendsetter in a way, but he gonna show up every day on time, and you know what you're gonna get out of him.
Amen. Love it. So before we wrap this thing up, this podcast is called Real Coaching Podcast. And real coaching means so many different things to so many people. You get what I'm saying? What it means to me, it may not mean to you. And this is the purpose of this podcast, to express what does real coaching mean to you and how did it affect you and coming to you. What is real coaching when you think of real coaching? What is that?
Real coaching to me is a coach that can put his pride aside and tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. We grew up with a lot of lineage names from Pop Warner. But when you get to high school and you realize, dang, these are all stars. These are dogs. These are this, then the third. So I think coaching is those guys that's actually one played or has studied the game to the point where they've almost have inserted themselves. We had security guards that was coaches. but they was legends on the park. So these are guys that's been in them situations that could tell you, yo, don't tiptoe through the 2-hole. You could tiptoe outside. How to set certain runs up. Real coaching is coaches that show up on time. Real coaches is coaches that give you life lessons through football. Real coaches is coaches that you still keep up with after you're done with whatever league you played with that coach. Real coaches is dads, father figures. And to me, real coaches is ultimately a person that has seen you at your worst and has seen you at your best and knows what you built from. Probably know you better than your parents at times. But if that's a person you can still hold on to and look up to, then that means they've pulled the best out of you at some point in your career.
Amen. I love it. I love it. Hey, you hear from one of the best, man, one of the greatest running backs, one of the greatest athletes that come out of Miami-Dade County, Imani Davis. I'm Coach Key. This is Real Coaching Podcast. And I just, again, want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. And I just want you guys to get something from this. You know, there may be some athletes out here, or maybe some parents, or just anyone out here that needs some motivation. And this is a great motivating story right now from Imani. And there's athletes in the world that doesn't play football anymore, and they don't know what to do. And Imani has gave us some key points right now. If you don't know what you're doing with your life, this is some things that you can do, and you can still win Super Bowls. You can still win in championships without making touchdowns and not tackling people. But again, my name is Coach Key. This is Real Coaching Podcast. Shout out to the cameraman, Izzy. Imani, do you have last words before we end this thing?
That's been a pleasure, fam.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Hey, guys, stay blessed. Love you. Appreciate you, dog.